Good evening, Internet. This is AB Marie, and listen, I know that this topic is centuries old, and we would all rather just forget about it, but I need to get this out and off my chest, or it's going to come up in other videos, and you guys don't deserve that. So I'm going to explain my reasons why Twilight is the worst book saga on the planet. Reason number one. Bella Swan has taught every girl 12 years and up at that time that your existence can only be validated by the affection of a man. Yeah. When Edward leaves her, she goes into a downward spiral of depression in which she routinely tries to kill herself so that she can see him again. So she's also romanticizing and glorifying mental instability and, just, ugh. So then she feels like shit about herself. But then when Jacob shows up and they're friends and he pays attention to her and, then all of a sudden she kind of has some confidence back because once again she has the attention of a man. So that whole thing is screwed up, and that's not something that you should teach women or young girls. And when I know that book series was targeted towards teenagers like 15 to 18, whatever. That was the target audience. But I read those books when I was 12, and so did every single person in my grade. Like, those were the people who were reading the books. Even though we weren't supposed to be, we did. So there's that. Number two, once again, Bella Swan is awful because she has like zero self-confidence in herself throughout the entire series, and finally, by book 4, at the very, very end, she finally feels good about herself. After a plastic surgery, basically. It's an entire bodily transformation because of the whole vampire thing. And she has the affection of the man that she loves. So she needs a man's attention and a complete makeover to feel good about herself. Which is like, once again, that's a shitty message for young girls. Or anybody. Like, you should be happy with yourself to begin with. It's really screwed up. My other problem with it is the guy that she likes is the worst guy to be with ever. He's possessive. He's literally stalkerish. In the book, the first book, the way that they end up together basically is he follows her around, and then when she starts to be in danger or whatever, which, by the way, why would you go down a dark alley anyway? Really? Well, anyways. Only then do they start, dating, and it's like, okay, he rewards her if she's good with, kisses and stuff, and when she's not good or she does something wrong, he takes away the gifts that he gives her, and he takes away the photos of them, and then he just dips out of her life, and that's, abusive behavior. And, okay, I'll be honest, when I'm in a relationship with a guy, I kind of like the feeling of, I belong to someone. But there's a difference between I've given myself to someone and I'm literally someone's property. It's a fine line. But Bella was literally his property. Other guys couldn't go near her, and Jacob wasn't allowed to hang around with her, and he tried to dictate who her friends were and who she could hang out with, and it's like, okay, that is the last person that you want to be with. I could go on about this forever, but I think the last problem that I'll mention is, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was something about the makeover and, the transformation. Okay. So, it's and it's unrealistic. It's really shitty that there were two guys that Bella, that were for her. There was Edward and there was Jacob. Now, Jacob loved her the way she was, which is actually perfect. That is what the guy or person that you like should feel. That you shouldn't want to change anything about you at all. Will you guys have to compromise sometimes on things? Sure. But on things like, oh, should we pick up popcorn or Hershey Kisses when we, Netflix and chill? By the way, with me, we fucking watch Netflix. There's no chillin'. Maybe chillin' like afterwards, but if we're sitting down and watching a Supernatural binge, we're going to see every second. There isn't going to be any distractions during it. But anyways, he didn't want to change her. He just wanted, and he was he could grow old with her. They could have kids. They could make a bowl of Kraft mac and cheese, and they both enjoy it. And it's like, that's the thing that she should have wanted, because that's a healthy relationship. But with Edward, it's like the only way she could be with him is if she completely changed herself, which is the worst message you can send to girls. Or anyone. You shouldn't have to completely change yourself to be with someone. And if you do have to completely change what you like and who you are and what you look like and your bathroom routine to be with the person that you like, then they're not right for you. I kind of had to learn that the hard way through personal experience, but there you go. That is my rant on why Twilight was a terrible book series, even though I read through them twice, and I saw the movies, and I paid money to see them in theaters. Granted, that was before I turned 14. I am 20 now, and I know better, so, And this is a very old topic, so I was trying to think of why I felt like I needed to talk about it, and the main reason is because I want books like that to stop being written. And there are kind of books that still come out like that, a little bit. City of Bones was better, by Cassandra Clare. That was pretty alright, but once again, the main protagonist doesn't have any confidence in herself. She's like, oh, I'm just kind of a scraggly, shorter version of my mom, who's pretty and this and that. It's like, okay, you're teaching people that age to not have confidence in themselves. Awesome. And, by the way, can we just all admit that the City of Bones series just ripped off the plot of Star Wars? The bad guy turned out to be the protagonist's father. The main person fell in love with their sibling. Those are two things. And I'm sure there's other things. I just can't remember. Oh, and then of course she's got all these magical powers that she didn't know about beforehand until she met this person who told her everything and blah blah blah. I digress. I want books like that where it's teaching people, young people, to not have confidence in themselves. I want those books to stop being written. And that's part of the reason I started getting into books. I wanted to write a book that I wanted to read. And I was, I was thinking to myself, you know what, the plot that I want to make in a book, it's got to exist somewhere. Like a witch story, and there's magic, and it's about a girl discovering herself. I mean, I'm sure there's stories out there like that. I found one like that. It was called War of the Witches, and it was written in the 80s. A 30-year-old book is the only example I could find of a story where a girl discovers herself and has confidence in herself. How screwed up is that when we're in 2017? Now, granted, I don't have money, and the nearest Barnes & Noble is 40 minutes away, so if you guys actually know about books that have come out that are kind of, good ones, let me know in the comments below, because I'm a readaholic. I'll download an illegal PDF of it or something. I mean, I do have a job, but it doesn't pay much. But, I'm kidding about the illegal thing. I'll buy, whatever. Okay, so, sorry about that. That was my rant. This is my blog for the night. That is my kitty, Mishu. She is peacefully sleeping. Oh, boo-boo. She loves you all, as do I, and we wish you all a good night. This is AB and Mishu. Over and out.